Okay, good morning, all you followers out there on Facebook and YouTube. You remember yesterday we made that wonderful apple pie filling. Well, today I'm going to make crust, my pie crust, for the upcoming holidays. So I'm going to make, my recipe says it makes 2 crusts. I'll include the instructions down below. But I'm basically using, let me show you here. This is one of my most prized cookbooks. I used to watch this show when I was younger. America's Test Kitchen TV show cookbook. And this one, I don't know when this one was produced. It says it's the 15th anniversary edition. It has every recipe that they ever cooked on that show, I guess in 15 years. And it's a wonderful book. What I like about America's Test Kitchen is they take recipes and they test them. And they keep testing them until they get it exactly right. So, and that's what they've done with this, what they call foolproof pie dough. So, you know, pie dough is one of those things that unless you make it a lot, it's one of those things you get better at the more you make it. So they wanted to come up with a recipe that was simple and easy and continually produced a good dough that's workable, easy to make, and such. And they use a secret ingredient, which we'll get to here in just a bit. So their recipe makes 2 crusts. I have rather large pie pans. They're, I believe they're about 10 or 12 inch round. So I am going to take this recipe and multiply it by 1.5 times. So that's how I've measured everything out here. So let me get this back together here. So let me show you the ingredients. All right, so here we go. Of course, we're going to need all-purpose flour, some sugar, some salt, some water. In this measuring cup, I've got 6 tablespoons of water and 6 tablespoons of vodka or vodka. I'm using Crisco shortening, and I've got that measured out, and I've got my butter ready to go. So what I'm going to do is put the shortening and the butter and the water in the freezer for a few minutes, get them really, really nice and cold, and we're going to use a food processor to mix this dough. So other than dirtying everything there, it surely makes it much, much easier to get the dough together. So I'm going to make these pie crusts, and we're going to wrap them in plastic, and we're going to put them in the freezer. They'll last up to a month in the freezer. So, alrighty, I'll be back as soon as these are chilled. Alrighty, so we're ready to start this making the pie dough. Take my butter and shortening out of the freezer. I'm going to add half of my flour to the food processor here. There we go. And I'm going to add my sugar and salt. And I'm just going to pulse it enough to mix those together. Alrighty. Now I'm going to add my butter. Making sure it gets evenly distributed around in there. And the shortening. And we're going to pulse that for about 15 seconds until it starts to come together. Go. And I'm going to scrape it down, get it evenly distributed again. And I'm going to add the rest of the flour. I did weigh the flour, by the way. I didn't just use measurement cups. I used a scale and I weighed it. Alright, so now we're going to pulse this together until everything's evenly distributed. And we're going to dump this back into the bowl. And now we're going to add the vodka and the water. We're just going to start stirring it until it all comes together in a glob. It'll look initially like it's way too wet, but just keep working with it and that flour will absorb. Come on. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to get us a piece of plastic wrap. Turn that out. And we're just going to wrap it up. Oh, hold on. I forgot. I was supposed to separate this into two different pieces. Take this piece, put it back in the bowl, wrap this piece. And we want to make it into much as we can into a round circle. Alrighty. Come on. And that's it, people. 2 crusts ready to go. I've got them wrapped in plastic. And then what I do is I go ahead and put them in a freezer bag. And into the freezer they will go. They will freeze, and then when we need them, we'll take them out of the freezer and let them thaw completely, and then we can roll them out, and I'll show you that later when I get ready to make some pies. So I'm going to do this one more time, so I've got a total of enough for 2 pies. I might even do it 3 times. So I've got an apple, a pumpkin, and maybe a pecan pie. So, but that's it. That's the basis of doing this. I'll include the recipe down below. And remember, bon appetit. Life is beautiful. Let's make some pies this holiday season together. All right. Alrighty. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.